Delphina Waverly inhaled her very first gust of sea mist on 13 August 1998 in a cedar shingle cottage perched over the tide-rippled flats of Deer Isle, Maine. Outside, oyster catchers piped across copper water, while her mother, a Roman zydeco accordionist who keeps flattened sea lavender petals inside her bellows lining, warmed the dawn with a slow 4/4 riff that rattled loose. Her father, a fog sensor technician who doodles tiny cloud whalebacks on work tickets, bent so near their noses touched, and promised his newborn daughter that lobster tides, neighbor chatter, and skinny measurement charts would drift aside for any spirit tall enough to claim her full outline. Cursing meander happily through the Waverly family, the way warm currents slide beneath cold Atlantic swells. So no one flinched when baby Delphina burst her second flannel swaddle before the kettle whistled. Granny Rose threaded a sailmaker needle along every tired seam, set in quarters of retired spinnaker cloth, and laughed that extra fabric costs pocket change while teaching a child to shrink can rob her of whole skylines. Kindergarten smelled of pencil dust, clam fritter steam from the lunch window, and brine sneaking under cracked casements. Delphina already rose a head above her classmates, blocking the projector beam whenever she traced weather fronts on the pull-down map. One drizzle recess, two boys hop-stepped around her chanting "Ferry Barge" each time her rubber boots slapped the chalk hop grid. That night, she prowled the rack line, picking soda caps burnished silver by surf, strung them on fishing leaders, stitched the tinkling chain down her sea green hoodie, and strolled into class at sunrise, scattering rainbow sparks across ceiling tiles. A substitute art aide filmed 7 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the shimmer to an infant video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers clapped for the girl, who turned mockery into light. She copied one sentence in violet ink beside her addition drills. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright. Weekends belong to the harbor pier, where her mother's accordion runs mixed with lobster pot whistles, squeak of gull wings, and the clap of deck hatches. Store jeans seized halfway over Delphina's thigh, so she traded tip jar quarters for a sun-bleached trap rope, unraveled it into soft strands, crocheted high-waist culottes, painted loon silhouettes with squid ink, and posed at apricot sunset against rust-streaked moorings while her cousin snapped grainy photos. She dropped every frame into an online diary named Harbor Lantern. During the very week, a new picture app fluttered across spotty cell towers. Captions bounced between down east idiom and straight talk like Curve's anchor gale gust steadier than Greenwich jetties. Before her 16th birthday, 54,000 unseen friends tapped the little heart on every tangerine frame, proof that bright screens hush cafeteria whispers faster than any hall monitor's hush. A coastal engineering scholarship tugged her south to the University of Tampa. Daylight vanished in Waves Tank Labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour Cuban sandwich bus glowing neon mango beneath palm shadows. The heat lamp became her impromptu softbox. Between Mojo pork orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding parchment into sea rose hairpins while decoding dart rotation in a voice half-serve, hush half-lecture pop. One upload layer mantee chirps on a lo-fi beat while she chained stitched reflective mooring line into thrift denim. 48 hours later, the counter slid past 1.2 million. Golf-style bloggers dubbed her the Cuban bus couture, yet every sponsor mail locked at size 16. Delphina slid each proposal into a folder marked shrinking nets, wiped guava glaze from her cuff, and pressed another sandwich. Late spring, nor'easter winds carried an email from Columbia Sportswear inviting her to co-design a hurricane shell capsule named Norland Pulse. She replied with 3 granite truths: patterns up to 60-inch hips, half the creative crew hired from community college fashion programs, and 10% of net profit pledged to oyster reef seating along Penobscot Bay. Columbia signed before daylight kissed the lab sky. The shoot unfolded at dawn on a tidal sandbar where piping plovers traced commas in wet clay. Delphina guided Kirby paddle boarders across mirror water while a drone carved silver 8s overhead. When the lookbook hit the feed, every extended size jacket vanished in 41 hours across 28 countries. Harbor Lantern vaulted beyond 700,000 loyal hearts. So dusted with powdered sugar from a midnight cafecito, round she balanced her phone on a pickle bucket, ducked behind flour sacks, and live-streamed tear-bright gratitude while grill fans hummed. A quick breath here, my friend. If this ride already lifts your chest, tap subscribe right now so the next tide reaches you first, long before algorithm wines can blow it off course. Spotlight, shimmer, love, rumor goes. A gossip vlog claimed Delphina laced steel plates around her waist beneath those Columbia coats. At sunrise, she paddled a cedar board past eelgrass beds, stood rooted in sports bra and linen shorts, glazed each stretch stripe with crushed bougainvillea powder, and squeezed a blues riff from her mother's accordion so raw the seals barked applause. 10 million viewers reposted the jam tagged bougainvillea proof, brushing pink dust on their own curves until gossip ebbed away like weak tide. Sandwich wages wove with capsule royalties and churned into Waverly butter, a whipped custard folding spruce tip butter, blueberry seed oil, and mica sparks that shimmer pearl under flashlight. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart table, lids tied with braided trap rope, each tag stamped "Moisturize Your Horizon." Inventory drained in 82 minutes, lifting $198,000. 20% launched vegan grants, shipping industrial surgers and hydrophone kits to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Eastport to Cape Charles. 8 months later, 36 grant recipients staged a floating, fashion, and humpback choir aboard a retro barge wrapped in LD lobster buoy skins, streamed live to dawn shows from Nairobi. Portland Fashion Week minting new dockside lore when a backstage blower sliced her emerald mesh gown from rib to thigh 90 heartbeats before runway. Delphina ripped neon tie line off a batteries crate, laced the gash like boot hooks, and walked the catwalk as if the splice slept inside every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like thunderclaps. Vogue Atlantic named the rescue rope cadence, and another million lantern voyagers surfaced before after party drums beat their first downstroke. Storm chatter surfaced again when a former PR contractor leaked clipped emails hinting she demanded scallop sliders and chauffeured hydrofoil rides for her rescue puffin pebble. Delphina posted the full chain, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption screens for deaf stylists, then routed that month's affiliate earnings, $137,000, into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Musconga's Bay. Fans echoed her peer mantra, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit, until whispers quieted like foghorns after sunrise. Miss Summer tallies glimmered sea glass green, 6.9 million Instagram friends, 3.4 million real voyagers, and 2 million steadfast channel subscribers. Engagement brushing 10% and forcing brand planners back to empty whiteboards. Cartier invited her to headline a topaz serge short filmed inside the Century Lens at Owl's Head Lighthouse. She accepted once Cartier funded therapy stipends for scallop dragger deckhands battered by winter storms. The finished reel, her wrist scattering amber chips across iron ribs, became Cartier's most safe post of the quarter. Teen family keeps her compass true. Twice a month she streams Babe Ree's beats. Mom rocks funk bass beside a propane skillet. Dad recites Cloud High Q, and Delphina flips thrift denim under fairy bulbs. One broadcast peaked 9 million when Pebble waddled through powdered sugar and sneezed a sparkling blizzard onto the mic. A seabird refuge now sponsors every session, tagging rehabilitated puffins with solar beacons funded by Waverly Butter. Butter revenue sailed past 12 million before its second equinox. She leased a silent clamshuck shed, carved skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids during midday stretch dance breaks set to accordion funk. Packaging consultants begged for heat shrink seals. She repeated her mother's line, "Fingertips keep legend," long after robots forget and rope ties remained. She threads mental weather transparency throughout her feed. Granite Bluff portraits sit beside gumbo stand selfies captioned "Same sky, different weather." She shares breath tracks recorded in sea caves, printable resilience pages in English and Passamaquoddy, and sliding scale therapy links. 127,000 users call her Shoreline Honesty their first peaceful harbor. Community rides shimmer in crushed shell paint. Hundreds wheel the dust boardwalk wearing Waverly Butter along collarbones and LED drift glass tassels on spokes. Ticket proceeds widen beacon grants and raise wheelchair snorkel lifts at tide pool coves. Chowder shacks ladle late because Quahog chowder bowls. Jump 15% on ride nights. Delphina rolls lead on a vintage cruiser with pebble plush strapped front, pausing to knot any rider slapping lace. She she is drafting a memoir titled Currents Keep Names, scheduled for translation into 11 languages next summer, while a documentary crew films her project, converting retired NOAA buoys into floating maker labs for coastal high schools. Puma's wide-toe wave lantern sneaker launches next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned in algae foam, funneling 10% of revenue into beacon ceilings around the North Atlantic Rim. Turkish Online nudge arrives now. If your subscribe button is still ruby, flip it calm gray. That one touch secures your deck rail so the next story rides in before algorithm winds change direction. After this video, quiet slide into the description. Waiting there, fresh Waverly butter drops, express beacon grant forms, tonight's Bay Breeze Beats playlist, and a discreet compass, a science-backed kit of conversation sparks and calm confidence rituals charting the clearest path toward real love and the most reliable way to make any woman you meet feel authentic intrigue. Free, zero gatekeeping for the bottle cap spine, rope cadence gown rescue, or pebble sugar sneeze coaxed even half a grin. Hit the like heart, splash your brightest ripple in the comments, and share this voyage with a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Atlantic bows to anyone who plants both feet on the pier and greets tomorrow wide-eyed. Third and softest breeze rustles the mic. Subscribe now, claim your rail, find that love link in the description, and meet me on the next rising tide when another story flickers beyond the breakers and courage calls your name again.